Hi guys. It is Friday. Yay, happy Friday. April 12th, 2019. And I recently got asked if I was ever going to do floss tube, so here I am. I appreciate the inquiries. I get discouraged with floss tube because I feel like nobody really notices if I make a video or not. So sometimes I stop making them because it seems like nobody really cares. So I appreciate those of you who ask after me and leave comments and subscribe and like, and I appreciate all that stuff. Um, so here I am per requests. Uh, so thank you. Um, I made a video like December 30th, and then I made one right after the new year, like January 2nd or something. And this is the first time I've made a video since then. Um, this glare on my glasses is really bad, huh? Uh, let's see if we can do something about that. Let's see if this works. Um, so since then, I during January and February, frankly, I was stitching at work, but I was not really stitching so much at home. On New Year's Eve, I had started uh, um, Miss New Year's Fairy by Mirabilia, and let's see if that helps. Um, and well, I don't know if that helped or not. Anyway, uh, I had started Miss New Year's Fairy by Mirabilia, and after the new year, in January actually, I worked on my Hade for a little while. This is Freebie um, Flower Bride, SK Flower Bride by Heaven and Earth, artwork by Linda So. And remember, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I've talked about this quite a few times. That I had put like 200 stitches in her, and I hadn't touched her since I started her in 2014. Well, I worked on her for a little while in January, and I'm happy to say that uh, my poor neglected Hade has finally made her way up to like 1100-ish or 1200-ish stitches. So there it is. Excuse me. Now, what I don't like about this, and I think what mostly put me off of continuing to work on it, is the Krynic. I think this is 28 count fabric, and doing that Krynic over one, oh my gosh. No, I do not like. Um, sorry. I complained about it on Stitch Mania recently, and it was suggested to try doing just the top leg of the cross and not both legs. So I think I will try that. But I was really kind of put off by the over one Krynic because you can't see the hole, and trying to put four pieces of blending filament in that little. I guess it's not blending filament, it's braid, but trying to get four of them in that little tiny hole, no. So when I return to it, I will try just doing the top half of the stitch, see if that works better. But for now, there it is. I finally made some progress on my Flower Bride. And then after that, I got tired of that. I got frustrated with the Krynic, and I put it down. And then, like, for the second half of January and for most of February, I didn't really, for all of February probably, I didn't really stitch anything at home. I was working on Shabbat Tabletop at work, but at home, I got on a reading kick in February. I read, because I know a lot of you like to talk about books too, so I'll tell you what I was reading. I read Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, because like all the Christian groups on Facebook are all up in arms about this book, and so I wanted to see what the fuss was about. And it's I'm not going to talk too much about it, but basically it's a mass market book aimed at women that was written by a woman who happens to be a Christian. I wouldn't consider it a Christian book. Um, and so it is what it is. And, if you want to read it, read it. If you don't want to read it, then don't read it. But I don't think it's worth all of the drama and all of the angst that people are putting into this book. Um, and then I read a book called Out of a Far Country. This book is fabulous. Um, it's it's about it's co-written by a man and his mother, and it's his journey from coming out to his family as being a gay man to becoming a Christian, and his mother's journey, and it's wonderful, and I really appreciated his uh, view on his sexuality and his Christianity, and I thought he was very even-handed about it. I thought he was very fair about it. Um, I appreciated him. Uh, so that was a good book. And then I was reading Rosaria Butterfield's book on the same topic. It's her conversion from being in a lesbian feminist lifestyle to being a Christian. So both of those were very good. And then I read I had come across on Goodreads or on a group for the Tim Challies reading challenge to read a graphic novel, and it's a book called Blankets, and the author's name is Craig. I think his name is Craig Thompson, and it's about it's a teenage boy. Well, he's an adult now, but he talks about his childhood growing up in a very fundamentalist family, and he falls in love with this girl as a teenager, and it's basically about his relationship with this girl when he becomes a teenager. But he's been raised with these very strict and kind of prudish views about sex and about romance, and it's interesting. But it's all done in comic book style, and so it goes very quickly. Even though it's like 650 pages, it goes very quickly because there's actually very little text, and it's all done, you know, in drawings like a comic book. And I thought when I first got it, I felt kind of intimidated. I felt like I was going to have trouble following the storyline, but I didn't. The drawings are very well done. It was very easy to follow. He puts text in where it's needed, a little bit of narration where needed. Um, but it was very interesting, very easy to follow. So in January and February, I got on a reading kick. I was kind of intending to complete more of the Tim Challies reading challenge, and I've kind of fallen down. I bought a bunch of books. Jessie Marie, sometime maybe in January or February, had mentioned bookoutlet.com, and um, I looked at that and I got some books from there. The books I think I got 5 books for $7. It was amazing. And she mentioned this too, but the selection, you kind of got to take what selection they have. You don't get to go on there with your shopping list and buy what you want. I had a list of books and I went through it to see what they had, and they had some of them. They didn't have others. Um, so, and then I bought some books at Barnes and Noble, and so basically the Tim Challies reading challenge became an excuse to shop, not an excuse to read. Um, uh, so one of these days I'll get back to that. Um, so anyway, enough about that. Um, at the end of February, I got sick for a few days, and then the beginning of March, I decided let me try to get back on stitching here. And it seems like the only way to get out of a stitching slump, at least for me, I haven't figured out another way to do it, is to start a new project. And when this happens to me, I know that this is going to happen, so I try to make sure that the projects I start are things like mill hills. I don't start a Haid to get out of a stitching slump. I start like mill hills or Christmas ornaments or something small. Um, so the mill hill, I was going through I had gotten an idea. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, so I found it and I pulled it out, and I started it on Saturday, and I finished it on Monday. And if I can find where I put it, it's right here. I did. I'm looking for a blank piece of paper to put this on. Here we go. I did Meal Hill's beaded bunny egg. Isn't he cute? So if you recall, again, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that in 2017 I did the chick egg, and in 2016 I did the sheep egg. So now, if I can hold these all separate, I have all 3 eggs, and there's my little collection. So yay! I ran into a problem with the bunny egg. There weren't enough beads for the grass. And so I have another one of Mill Hill's eggs. You might notice a theme here. They're daffodil egg. And so I pulled a few beads out of the daffodil egg to finish the grass on the bunny egg, which inevitably means that I'm going to run out of beads when I do the daffodil egg. I still have it out because I was kind of intending to get around to it relatively soonish while I remember that I'm missing beads. But I did, because I have this feeling that I'm going to run out of beads, I did order a pack of beads. I put in a very exciting order to 123 Stitch. I ordered a skein of pearl cotton and a pack of beads and a pair of scissors. It was thrilling. And I know I'm kind of bouncing around here, sorry. But I'll show you what I'm thinking about it. These are Dinky Dyes rose gold scissors. And they're pretty. Let's see if I show better this way. Yeah, a little bit, I guess. They're pretty. The color's pretty. It's rose gold, obviously. I wasn't thrilled because the paint job isn't that good. Sorry, Dinky Dyes. And yeah, I was mostly disappointed in the quality of the paint job. And the scissors themselves, I don't know. I was just sort of expecting more. The scissors themselves aren't that special. They're just painted rose gold, and the paint job isn't that good. So I was kind of disappointed about that. Anyway, more stash later. So I worked on Flower Bride. I've been working. I did the bunny egg. And then after I finished the bunny egg, I what did I do? I don't know what I did. I think I went back to not stitching at home. But 2 weekends ago, I think I decided I was kind of dying to finish a project, like one of my WIPs. The bunny egg was a new start, so that didn't count. It's a finish. Cool. But it was a new start. And I'm like, I need to get a WIP off my list. And so I thought, well, the closest WIP that I have to being done is Spring Bunny Love. And so I pulled it out. And the first weekend I had it out, I kind of stared at it and said, I should work on this. And then it sat there and sat there and sat there. And last weekend, I stared at it on Saturday and thought, I should work on this. No, actually, I think the first weekend I actually did. I did pull it out and I finished the leaves. I did do a little bit on it. And then last weekend I thought I should work on this. And so Sunday I finally picked it up and I finished the bottom. And uh, Monday on Monday I finished the rest of it. So there's Spring Bunny Love. This is free on the Snowflower Diaries blog, and it's charted. The designer is Hungarian. It's charted with Nina's threads out of Hungary. I did not order those. I used a combination of Crescent Colors and Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Art and DMC. Um, so I think I used Crescent Colors. I think Sophie's Pink, and then I used uh, or Crescent Colors Pink Champagne. It was one of the pinks that was in Mirabilia's Christmas Elf Fairy kit for her dress. And then I used Sophie's Pink, I think was from Weeks Dye Works. And the green is green tea ice cream by Six Strand Sweets. And the brown is maple syrup by Gentle Art. And then there's a little bit of DMC for the insides of their ears and the miscellaneous bits of color in there. So I stitched it over one, which was challenging. But I thought it would be cute at this size, and it is. It's really cute at this size, like an ornament size. If I had stitched it over two, it would have been 5x7, and I kind of felt like it would have been a little bit ridiculous at 5x7. So I'm glad I stitched it at this size. It's cute at this size, but it was kind of challenging. So there's my Spring Bunny Love. And people keep saying, well, what are you going to... Yeah, I've been showing you the front, right? Yeah, I haven't been showing you the back. All right. People keep saying, well, what are you going to finish it into? I'm like, I don't know. It might be an ornament. I might frame it. I might... Who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It'll probably go in a box with the rest of my finishes. I don't know. So, there's that. And then I've been working on... So I finished one WIP. My next target, this has been my work project since January, since I went back to work after the new year. And I finally got impatient last week. I've been working on it and working on it. And last week, in the last week or two, I started to see the end in sight. And last week, I kind of got impatient and I brought it home. No, it was earlier this week. Today's Friday. It was on Tuesday. I got impatient and I brought it home. And I thought, I'm going to take this home because if I take it home, I could finish it real quick. I've overestimated the amount of energy I have in the evenings, so I have done a little bit of stitching on it each night, but Um, it is going faster than if I had left it at work, but it's not going as fast as I had imagined. Anyway, I'm kind of babbling, huh? Um, this is my Shabbat table topper. And I didn't bring the cover picture, but that's about what it looks like. And all I have to do is I have to finish the grapes and the leaves in the center. You see the center square there. And there's a Karen watercolors border that goes around the outside that I have to finish. That I have to do. And that's all that's left. It's almost done. And I had said to myself yesterday, or the day before, I finished Spring Bunny Love in time for Easter. Passover begins at sundown next Friday. So I kind of set a goal to finish this by Passover. I don't really expect to make it, but we'll see. I'm going to try. I have this weekend. I wish Monday was my day off. It's not. I got to work Monday. But and my mom's coming over tomorrow to do her taxes. But I'm going to see if I can get it done before Passover. I'm kind of concerned that the grapes are going to take longer than I think, and that outside border is going to take longer than I think. But we'll see. If I don't finish it, then oh well. I'll finish it next weekend, and the world will continue. But it would be fun just because I finished the bunnies before the bunny holiday. I could finish the Shabbat piece before the Jewish holiday. It would be fun. That's all. And then since I brought the Shabbat table topper home, I had to have a piece at work. So I pulled out, here it is. I pulled out My Poor Neglected Mermaid, Deepest Love by Maridolia. I was kind of aiming to finish her last year. Did not make it. Not even close. I had kind of worked on it a little bit over Christmas, and I kind of got discouraged when I realized I'm not going to be able to finish her before the clock struck 2019, and I put her aside. But since I brought Shabbat Table Topper home, I decided to go ahead and take her back to work. And so I took her on Wednesday. So I put a whole, 3 days worth of work into her since Christmas. But here she is. So it's nice to be back on her. It's nice to see some progress on her. You can see, I guess, I'm working on the edge of her wrap right here. So it's nice to be back on her. I look forward to finishing her. Probably later this year. I'll probably leave her at work until at least the end of August. And then we'll see where I am. I may leave it longer. I may bring it home. We'll see. But there's my mermaid. Deepest love. And I think that's everything I've worked on this year. Yeah. So we're coming up on my next goal is to finish the table topper. And then we're coming up on Mania. Stitch Mania starts on May 1st. And I know you all know that. And probably most of you already have plans on what you're going to do for Mania. I don't usually participate in Mania. Because I'm not up for 15 new starts. I'm trying to get my WIP list down, not trying to add to it. So I usually don't participate in Mania. But this year, I've decided I'm going to participate in Jessie Marie's Monogamania. I probably talk about Jessie Marie more than I talk about any other floss tuber. But frankly, she's one of the few left that I still watch. I don't watch a lot of Floss Tube these days, but she's one of the few that I do. So that's why I talk about you so much, Jess. Um, uh, so I'm gonna stitch. um, I think I'm gonna participate in Monogamania, but it's gonna be monogamous to a designer. Well, mostly monogamous. It's gonna be Mirabilia. So I'm gonna keep working on Deepest Love at work, and I decided at home I'm going to focus on this New Year's Fairy. I I think I put a few stitches into her. I started her on New Year's Eve. If you watched my January video, you saw that I started her on New Year's Eve because I was kind of looking for something to do with myself while I waited for midnight, and I came across this plan, and here we are. Um, so this is my teeny tiny little start on. You can't even see that very well in the camera, can you? I probably have the lighting in here all messed up, but uh, there's my tiny little start on Miss New Year's Fairy. It's just a little bit of her dress. So I decided that that's going to be my focus for Stitch Mania, Miss New Year's Fairy, and Deepest Love. So it'll be kind of a Mira Monogamania. But if I get tired of Miss New Year's Fairy, which I might not, I don't know. I did pull out another WIP out of my 28 WIPs. This is one that's been languishing for probably a good 8, 9, 10 years. Uh, this is Winter Shoes by Heritage Stitchcraft. Does it say who these are? I don't know who these are designed by. But they're designed by Heritage Stitchcraft. And they have a whole series of sepia tone designs. Um, so this is one of course, Horse getting his shoes for the winter. So I started this sometime like in 2010 or 11 or something. Um, Actually, was it this design? I think I came to the conclusion that I started it in 2011. I think it was this design because I have a list on a website. I have two lists on the website. I have a list that I created or that I updated in 2011. I think as of January 1st, 2011. And then I have a second list that was current as of January 1st, 2012. And I think this piece is not on the 2011 list, but it is on the 2012 list. So I think this is the piece I started in 2011. And in typical Laurel fashion, I spent like 1 or 2 or 3 days working on it. I didn't work on it very long. And I put it away and I never picked it up again. But this is where I am on it. So if I get tired of Miss New Year's Fairy, I'll work on this. I think that's right side up. I'm not really entirely sure, but I think that's right side up. So that's Mania. And yesterday, I saw this evil woman on Stitch Mania post the cutest little Easter Bunny ornament. And it was obvious from her picture, she had it sitting on top of the package. It was obvious that it was a roller cross stitching cover kit. And so I went and found out what cover it was. It was April 2019. I'm like, oh, well, that's probably just getting into stores in the United States because, we always get these delayed. And so yesterday on the way home from work, I stopped at Barnes and Noble and I found what might have been the only copy of that magazine in the store. Um, so what did I do with it? Here it is. So this is it. And I love, 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 love that they have the front of the bunny, which you can see, and then they have the back of the bunny too. And you can, make a two-sided ornament. Love, love, love it. This is like the cutest thing. So I think I'm going to try to squeeze this in sometime like the last week of April between finishing the tabletopper and the beginning of Mania. I'm going to try to squeeze this in. It won't be in time for Easter, but that's okay. They also have, if you haven't seen the April issue of World of Cross Stitching, they got a lot of cool projects in that issue. They have a chocolate sampler. Like, who doesn't like chocolate? They have a springtime sampler, which is pretty. It's got flowers and plants, and I don't think it's got eggs. I don't think it's Eastery, but it's springy. Um, and then they have some Easter cards, and they have a table runner from Doreen Jones, and they got a lot of cool projects in that issue. I enjoyed the issue. Um, so that's Mania and Evil Enabling on Stitch Mania. June. I guess we're into plans. Um, June. Wine and Whips. In January, my January video, or my December video, I had said that I was going to use Spring Bunny Love for Wine and Whips. And I remember saying I didn't really want it to be hanging around until June, but if it still was, I would use it for Wine and Whips. Well, I finished it. So now I gotta find something else to use for Wine and Whips. And I usually take my Wine and Whips project to work because work is a very good slot for projects that make me whine. But this year, I'm gonna have to be a little more dedicated than that because I think this year I'm gonna make Under the Evergreen my Wine and Whips project. I think I put it down last May, right as um, Wine and Whips was getting going last year. I used to bought Table Topper for Wine and Whips last year. And I think I put Under the Evergreen down to work on. Oh, in May I was finishing the Ohio map, and in June I finished the bookshelf. And I intended to get back to Under the Evergreen, and I never did. So I'm going to work on Under the Evergreen for Wine and Whips. And um, try to make some progress on it. Here, I'll show it to you. And what makes me whine about this project is the carpet. So there's my Under the Evergreen by Teresa Winsler. And it's this carpet that makes me whine. It's about 7 colors. They're all blends. And it's just a lot of confetti. And you do the bottom stitch in the color, and then you do the top stitch with the gray. And it's just a lot of confetti in this carpet where you got to go through and, do all 7 colors to fill in all the spaces in the carpet. So I do not enjoy that. So I'm going to try to, I finished page 3, and then I'm going to try to make some progress on page 4. If I can finish like the carpet and the rocking horse on page 4, that would be great. So that's going to be wine and whips. And then at some point, I don't know what point, I was thinking about maybe making this a wine and whips project for work, but I don't really want to take time away from Deepest Love to do it. So I'm probably going to just do it at home. Maybe during May, maybe during June, maybe it'll wait till July. But at some point, I'm going to have to make some time to hem stitch or nun stitch around the edge of Shabbat Table Topper so that I can finish those edges. And I think I'm going to put some fusible web on the back and then, FFO it that way. Make a fringe on the edge, FFO it that way. I'm debating giving the table topper to one of my brothers, my older brothers. My younger brother's not going to care. He's not Jewish, but my older brothers are. But I think I might keep it because I love my brothers, and I think they would appreciate it, but they would be like, "Oh, that's nice." So I think I might keep it. Yeah. So I've been kind of rambling and babbling tonight, huh? Because we're at 36 minutes already. All right. So we did whips, we did finishes, we did plans. After June, I don't have any plans yet. Don't know. Except for Deepest Love. I'm sure if I don't finish Miss New Year's Fairy in May, I'm going to be making plans to finish her. We'll see. I don't know. Stash. Let's do Stash. We even did books. Let's do Stash. I've believe it or not, I've made more exciting purchases than the thread and the beads that I bought with the scissors. In February, I had placed an order with 123 Stitch because I needed a different skein of pearl cotton for my sampler. For my Shabbat table topper. I ran out of the dark blue, so I placed an order because I needed the dark blue. And of course, who wants to pay $3 in shipping for a $1 skein of thread? So, of course, you gotta order something to justify the shipping. And I ordered, this was also kind of enabled by Jessie Marie. This is Best Friend Santa by Mill Hill, Jim Shore. Jessie was gifted the perfect Christmas Santa with the cat. This is the dog. I thought he was cute, so I ordered him to go with my skein of pearl cotton. And then I've done a little bit of eBaying. Some other evil person on Stitch Mania posted this. I think it was on Stitch Mania. Posted her finish of this. And I thought it was so cute. And I went and found it on eBay. Of course, it's Garfield wearing bunny slippers. And it says, "I'll rise, but I won't shine." And I swear, I'm going to finish this and I'm going to hang it in my cubicle at work. I opened it. I was going to start it. I had to, in the middle of March, about a month ago now, I didn't have to, but I chose to stay out of my apartment on a Saturday because maintenance was coming in here. They replaced my stove and they put in a built-in microwave, and they were going to be here for like 6 hours. And I could have stayed. The maintenance guy doesn't care, but it made me feel self-conscious, and I didn't want to be here. So I stayed away from him that day. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do to pass the time entirely, but I took this with me just in case I found somewhere to work on it or decided to work on it. but I never did. I opened it and I sorted all the thread and everything, but I still haven't started it. So there's that. But yeah, I think when I finish this, I'm going to put it in my cubicle. And then I've done a little bit of stash unload and uh, eBay buying. Well, I guess that was the eBay buying. This is stash unload buying. Um, this is Silver Creek samplers. No winter lasts forever. No spring skips its turn. I just thought that was cute. And then this, see, I'm back to Jessie Marie. Jessie Marie showed this, and I thought it was cute. And then I saw it come up on Stash Unload, and it made its way into my PayPal account. Merry Halloween by Blackberry Lane. I thought that was cute. So there it is. Pineberry Lane. Not Blackberry, Pineberry. And then the ultimate stash purchase, you guys. I have a funny story about this too. I found my unicorn chart. And many, 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 many thanks to Perman for re-releasing it. I know many of you have this as your unicorn chart, and so many, many thanks to Perman. But I was scrolling Facebook one day on a Sunday morning while I was getting ready for church, and I came across Trish at 3 All Threads, who had said, Perman's re-releasing this, and I have 2 of them, and so if you want them, claim them. And one had been already claimed, but the other one was still free, so I claimed it, because I saw it, and I was like, woo! So I claimed it. And then I get picked up by a man in my church who picks me up, takes me to church. Wonderful man. I love him to death. And I was telling him that I found my unicorn chart, and that I had found it on Facebook, and I ordered it. And then I had told him it's a chart of Adam and Eve with all the animals. And he's going, Adam and Eve and a unicorn? No. So then I had to explain to him what a unicorn chart was, that it had been out of print and I couldn't find it, and they finally released it. And I got it. So I got Perman's Adam and Eve finally. So thank you to Perman, and thank you to Trish at 3 All Threads. I don't know when I'm going to start this. I'm going to try to start it this year. We'll see. I don't know. I have issues with starting things, guys, especially big projects, and this is a ginormous project. I have issues with starting things, and it's almost impossible to get any kind of like serious advice or serious feedback on it. I've tried to post about it, and the only feedback I ever get is, well, I just start whatever I feel like whenever I feel like starting it. I'm like, you're not helping me. So I'm not really sure what to do with it. I've been having a lot of trouble getting any kind of serious feedback. But I have, I have a lot of WIPs, and I've been restricting my starts because I've been trying to reduce my WIPs. But now I kind of feel like, well, when is it going to be enough? Like, how many WIPs do I have to have before I'm going to let myself start a big project? And even small projects, I have all these like projects, but I never start any of them because I'm always like, I got to finish these WIPs. I got to finish these WIPs. So I don't know. But whenever you ask anybody about it, everybody's like, oh, just make a new start. Have fun. It's a hobby. Which is true, but I don't want 300 whips. So I don't know. Um, yeah. So if you have any advice, feel free to leave it in the comments. Something besides, oh, I just start whatever I feel like whenever I feel like starting it. Um, and is that it? I think that's it. I think we got everything. Books and stash and whips and plans and mania and wine and whips. I think we got everything. And I've been talking long enough. So, um, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I will see you at some point soon. And uh, if you're in the US, taxes are due Monday. So have a wonderful Easter if you celebrate it. And I will see you at some point in the future. Bye.